There are going to be people who are, and it's hard, there's going to be people reading this, and this is their very first comic book ever. And it's, being honest, Keanu, your involvement is going to bring people in to read stuff that maybe they wouldn't read before. For each of you guys, what is another comic book or graphic novel that you want to recommend to a new comic book reader that I know you can say, I know you're enjoying our book, but you also want to check out this.
Yeah, I'll go first on that one. There's two things I would recommend. Like, if you like this, what we're doing, you might like that. And I think the easiest one is anything by Jeff Darrow. He's doing a book now called Shaolin Cowboy, and he did Hard Boiled, back in the 90s. So I would recommend both of those. And then there's a manga by Osamu Tezuka called Phoenix, which is kind of, it's not what we're doing or whatever, but I just thought about it the other day. I was like, oh, it spans all of time and space. So it starts at the beginning of, like, in the Stone Ages, and then goes into the future. And it's kind of a great, and he's basically like he's Japan's Walt Disney, like, of manga. So, like, everything he does is great, but I'd recommend those two.
That's an interesting one. I mean, because a lot of it depends on a person's personal taste. There's some people like fantasy, some people like, sci-fi, or the gore, or the, supernatural, or, or things like Captain America. But it's just, as far as good quality writing, I would probably say you could go back. I like Mike Mignola's work a lot. The Hellboy stuff, but even further back, like Fafhrd and Grey Mouser, things like that. A lot of what he's got on his rack back there, I keep seeing Matt's face is predominant in my screen here, but he's got a lot of those old things are great to look at. So yeah, I mean, it really depends on their taste and, what they want to read. I mean, I was with Marvel for so long, so a lot of, that's where, my automatic thought process goes back to Jack Kirby all the way back to the 60s and pick up, all of his old work, because that's really kind of where it really began and cracked open. So that's what I would suggest.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's, I guess, do some Frank. Yeah, let's throw Frank Miller in there, right? So do some Dark Knight, do some Wolverine.
Yeah.
Love and Rockets, or do the 2000 AD stuff if you want some more humor, like Judge Dredd, Strontium Dog, kind of fun stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, I got to say, this is a sidebar, but I've interviewed Frank a few times, and each time I talk to him, I'm always like, I cannot believe I'm talking to Frank Miller. Growing up with his stuff, it's just been effing cool.